Another completely different type of retrofit that we can do to help with operations is to add inlet heating. You may be experiencing snow and ice getting into the filters, blinding up filters and causing to shut down or turn down the turbine, or even it could be that cold and humid conditions as the air reaches the bell mouth and the inlet guide vanes. If you're trying to run with them severely closed, you may be getting icing conditions there. And the addition of heat back into the inlet obviously can resolve both of those conditions. So there's several ways to do it. Common ways is what we call inlet bleed heat, or IBH, where we're taking hot compressed air from the turbine compressor and rerouting it back up into the ductwork or in front of the filters, depending. And the photo here, you can see where that piping is routed from the turbine compressor back up into, in this case, downstream of the filters, where we're injecting the hot air in the inlet duct. And in that case, you're only improving the situation of icing at the guide vanes and bell mouth of the turbine. So when we do this, we need to look internally about the distribution of the hot air. So we do a lot of analysis. We've done a number of models already where CFD analysis and such has been applied to make sure we have good temperature mixing, good airflow distribution, and that's all done up front prior to doing any construction. A typical design for an inlet bleed heat manifold downstream of the filters would look something like this. You usually have a typical supply air header, single point connection from where the hot air is provided by the piping from the turbine compressor, and then an array of riser pipes with holes for distribution of the air throughout the duct to provide good air mixing on down into the turbine inlet. Actually looks like once installed, so you've got some pictures there of what the array is, in this case installed downstream of the inlet silencer, and can be installed upstream in some cases as well. But in those cases, you may want to be aware of noise limitations and noise created by the inlet bleed heat air dispersion. The inlet bleed heat piping array can also be installed upstream of filters. Typically use some very specialized nozzles that not only disperse the air laterally, but also provide sound attenuation, because you're running the hot air from the compressor around the main duct silencer. So you want to provide some silencing on these. There's noise generated due to the air rushing out of the nozzles, as well as noise coming from the compressor.